What internet marketing expert should you spend your valuable time listening to? Listen to someone who has over 20 years of web marketing experience and hundreds of website marketing success stories. That man is Aaron Sparks from Site Strategics. And this is Edge of the Web Radio.
From Kissmetrics, and we always love some great information from Kissmetrics. It's a great blog. It's a great tool as well for tracking and be able to improve conversions. Author is Cosette Jarrett. It's about lessons from bad copywriting. So we've all read this copy that's, we all have scenarios where we've just been reading a particular bit of information, and it stops right there. It stops us because it's just written badly. Doug, you're a fantastic writer. You write blog content on a regular basis.
I are good.
I've seen a lot of what you've written.
This does not bode well at all.
I think I write a lot, but I don't always write as well as I would like.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, quantity, not quality.
Well, I wish it was quality every time, but
Well,
I have a different style. When I write, I tend to just kind of puke it out there and publish, and then I get embarrassed at all the mistakes and go back and fix them. And other people are a little bit more contemplative the way that they plan. How
there's a method to writing, and there's hooks that you can set. There's intrigue that you can set, but a lot of times it's tough just to get the content out there.
Well, that's what we see people struggle with. So I try to act like I would want them to, and that's that. Hey, get it out.
Yeah.
Get it out there. There's such a voracious desire of by consumers today to read content that they're very forgiving.
Yeah.
And so, if they read, one bad post out of, 50 that you've written, but they appreciate the quality and the ideas behind it, that you're still building value and trust with them where they're going to make that connection.
Consumers are not going to hold you to a level of scrutiny that they'll turn away.
Yeah. Some will.
Some
will.
will.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we're talking about.
I know those guys that'll get mad at the Oxford comma and stuff.
Oxford.
Well, I mean, writing is subjective in nature, but there are certain blunders that are universal, right?
Yes.
Writing poor writing doesn't do much to engage that reader or lend authority to its publisher. In fact, I mean, it can be a great article, but if you're using tense wrong and it's very apparent, momentum of what you're building can actually stop right there. One of the top points from this article, story makes the writing. Your story creates the difference between talking at and talking to somebody, right? Whenever you take time to develop your story, your writing mimics the natural tone you would use in a conversation. Period.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's the way I write.
Introduce a problem, develop its points, then present your solution. That's pretty common sense, but a lot of times, I mean, writing stops before they'll go off train and provide some additional embellishments that aren't really necessary.
Well, and the conversational piece is important too. We were just having a discussion today. I had a person, not a client, but someone was in the office, and he was saying how his boss really hates like average content on the website.
Right.
And he likes these really deep thought leadership. They want to, really show off their stuff. And the problem is that he's not talking to his audience. He's talking to other smart people like him.
Right.
And so, I always tell people, like, if I was going to tell a story to your son, I would tell the story much different than if I told it to you.
Because my son's actually smarter than I am.
Yeah. I didn't say it.
You'd use bigger words.
Yeah. But
slow it down for me.
It's you do. And that's why that conversational approach and kind of a lowest common denominator is important on the web. Is you do something extraordinarily well, like with Site Strategics, right? You do stuff that the average company won't understand. So why would you talk to them at a level of where you're at? You need to talk to them at a level of where they are. That's why you guys are great. You always say, hey, get more leads to your door. We'll get you ranked on search engines because that's where people are searching. But you guys don't sit there and talk about, well, with the latest Panda algorithm change, what you need is, because
we actually had a panda.
you have that
show.
You have, I know, but you have those conversations between yourselves and internal.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to attract the audience,
Right.
You know, it's,
No, I agree
hey,
with you.
get found.
I agree with you, and,
Yeah.
and you have to boil it down.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times for academics, you know, but so many times audiences don't like. Here's a nugget of a word for you: pontification. They don't.
Ooh.
Wow.
See, they don't
Nice.
want you to sit up on high
Yeah.
and lecture.
Right.
They don't want that. They want a problem solver.
Right.
You know, and then this is what this article is talking about. It's there's a great description from about the Lego Group from the Lego website. Right.
Yeah.
Listen to this content. The Lego Group is a privately held company based in Billund, Denmark. The company is still owned by a Kirk Christensen family who founded it in 1932. And this is the first About Us section, right?
Right.
This stuff is dry as a bone, and it's a Lego company. Lego is engaged in the development of the children's creativity through playing and learning.
Yeah, what are they doing?
Okay, fine. All right. Well, that's a pretty dull description of a company that manufactures children's toys.
And there's probably some incredible story behind that first time
Absolutely.
that he created a Lego piece.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. And on top of that, just how much creativity has has inspired so many different children across the
It
world
sounds like he's
And
talking.
adults.
and adults. I love playing with Legos.
Sounds like he's talking to stockholders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's dry. So honestly, look at your About Us pages, because a lot of times those pages are the least focused upon. Okay, we'll just put some information, history, what have you. But those are actually the points where I go check out that company on
When they're getting ready to buy.
yeah, I want to know about this
Who
company.
are they?
Yeah. You know, another point they made here was a sentence should make its point and then stop.
Yes.
No matter your target audience, readers would prefer simplicity. It's easy to get so far into a point you're making, then forget to separate it from the others. I'm a culprit of that. I truly am. Not in writing, just in speaking. I'll follow my rabbit as it's going through all the different turns of a conversation. Take a step back and actually think about where and how you can separate your different points.
Yeah.
How you can make it easier for readers to actually get the gist of your content. Another point that actually this is a great demonstration,
Especially on the web, right?
especially on
Pare it
the
down.
web.
Cut it.
You gotta
Get rid of the unnecessary words, short sentences, no compounds.
yeah. And that's another point they had. Descriptive words don't always help. Every writing class you've ever taken has told you that descriptive words are necessary to paint a picture, right?
Yep.
But, I mean, if you use a sentence like this, our world-class team produces highly unique work that you can't find anywhere else. I'm sorry,
ridiculous.
that's full of sales speak.
We're unique.
Yeah. But everybody's unique. Even that.
Yeah.
You know? First, you should never use an adjective or an adverb with an absolute objective. Now I'm getting myself deep in grammar here. And Linnell, our content writer, should probably be right here and correcting me. But the point is that don't stipe yourself into so many adjectives that it looks like bluster.
Yep. Nouns are awesome.
Yeah.
They are. You know,
More nouns, less adjectives.
a couple last points here. Audience matters. It's
Yes.
important to know what your audience knows and what they don't know before you dive into your topic.
Just what we were talking about.
Doug,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
do that. You are. I mean, Marketing Tech Blog is a sparkling example because. Oh, there you go. See, is that you'll
Keep it coming. How many minutes we got?
do a little bit of research to identify your target audience.
Right.
What do they know? What do they need or want to know? How are you going to tell them what they need to know in a new way? Take note of the post topics as well as the comments that people make on those blog posts. Yeah. Try to answer those important questions for your target audience, not just provide general overviews for
And it can be different personas, right?
Yeah.
You know, intermediate, basic, advanced.
Yep.
So
Last thing, and we'll jump ship here. Copying isn't cool. You know, the point is, do not copy others. Don't plagiarize. I mean, you learned that in school, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? It's also illegal. If you're still tempted to copy content, let me tell you what's at stake here. Sites are penalized by major search engines. The whole point of creating a website to be found online is to be found online, so why ruin your chances with copied content? We see that time and time again that they stuff their site content with things from Wikipedia. And I mean, Matt Cutts came out years ago saying, stop it. Stop trying to put together something that is not unique. On top of that, sites that copied sites turn away customers. Chances are customers have been or will be checking out other sites in your industry before deciding on who they're going to buy from. Won't it be embarrassing if they see that you stole the content from that website?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a deal closer at that point in time. Sites miss out on the opportunity to show what they can do. If you don't have unique content, how can you highlight your company culture? If you're just lifting it up, spinning a few words, and then putting it into your website, you're not taking that opportunity to create that value.